Alright, hey, it's Rob, and I've made a video about practically everything else I can possibly think of to make a video about, but the one thing I have not so far is this. This is our industrial strength Jeanie rub massager from Morfam Incorporated. This has been in my family for 50 years at this point. Still works like a champ. It really has just always worked, well. I have never done any maintenance. I have never squirted a drop of oil or anything into this thing, and it continues to do exactly what it was put on here on the good green earth to do. And so this is, like I said, an industrial strength massager, the Jeanie rub. You can see that right there. And it's pretty brilliant. It's really just like a orbital sander or whatever. I've always tried to find like the actual, sanding equivalent to this, but it's just a sander, and instead of a, piece of sandpaper, they have instead riveted a, soft leather pad or whatever to the end of it, and you hold onto this thing for dear life, and it feels, pretty intense. You can only do it for so long. You can only massage someone for so long, and your hands start to, vibrate. But it's a pretty cool little toy. I know where we got it because my dad had a friend named George, and George owned a barbershop in Dearborn, Michigan, where I used to get this haircut when I was a kid. And I know George he had like a big old afro that he dyed red, white, and blue for the 4th of July. And I think maybe a little later than that, but it's going back 40 plus years. At some point, he gifted my father this Jeanie rub massager, which was part of the service you got at the barbershop when you go in, and he'd rub you down a little bit, and then he'd cut your hair. That's just what they did there. They also always had Playboy magazines, which I loved when I was a kid, laying around, and I just would be flipping through them, when nobody was looking. But anyway, so this thing, like I said, going on 50 years, that has served us very well. The Jeanie rub comes with instructions from Morfam Incorporated from Mishawaka, Indiana. I don't think they're around anymore, but you can get a version of this made by a Japanese company, I think called Core. And here is the original brochure and everything, all the pictures. You can see how old this is. Testimonials to the Jeanie rub massager. It's the best thing anyone could own. We have purchased 4 of your Jeanie rub massagers and find this to be a splendid instrument. Have one of your Jeanie rub massagers, which I enjoy very much. All right, so that is the Jeanie rub massager, the original box and everything. And I just look at something like this and think, this is gonna outlive me. We've had this for 50 years in our family. It's not gonna break. We use it once in a while or whatever, unless it burns out or something happens to it. Still in great shape, and like I said, when I'm gone, this Jeanie rub massager will still be around. All right, it's a cool little thing if you don't have one. $50 on eBay. They're all over the place, but fun little toy to play with in your spare time. Later.